Have you ever wondered if the story of an entire nation, its people, its struggles, its triumphs could be written into the pages of the Bible itself? Imagine this, a connection so profound that it ties one of the most vibrant countries in Asia to the very origins of humanity after the Great Flood. Today, we invite you to embark on a journey into a mystery that has been hidden in plain sight for centuries, a mystery that links the Philippines, a nation of over 7,600 islands, to the ancient stories of Scripture. This isn't just speculation. What we are about to uncover might shock you and change the way you see history forever. Thousands of years ago, after the waters of the Great Flood receded, Noah's family stepped out of the ark to begin humanity anew. The Bible tells us of the descendants of Noah's sons Shem, Ham, and Japheth spreading across the earth, populating lands far and wide. But here's a question that few have dared to ask: could one of these lineages have traveled farther than we imagined, to a distant archipelago in the east, a land we now know as the Philippines? Asia, a continent steeped in ancient secrets, holds many stories that remain untold. But among its nations, the Philippines stands out not just for its breathtaking beauty, but for its rich and complex tapestry of cultures, histories, and spiritual legacy. Could the origins of the Filipino people be found in the Bible? Could their remarkable resilience and enduring faith be part of a divine design, woven into the grand narrative of Scripture? In this video, we'll unravel the biblical roots that might connect the Philippines to the ancient world, peeling back layers of history to reveal a connection that has long been obscured. This is not just a history lesson, it's a revelation. What if the destiny of the Philippines was prophesied? What if the spiritual legacy of this nation is not an accident but part of God's plan? The story of the Philippines begins long before colonization, in a time when the first peoples settled on these islands. The Negritos were among the earliest arrivals, followed by waves of Austronesian settlers. Historians have traced their migrations across the Pacific, but what if their journey was more than just a matter of chance? Could they be connected to the descendants of Ham, Noah's son, as some interpretations of Scripture suggest? Imagine the implications: a lineage directly tied to the survivors of God's great cleansing of the earth, carrying with them a divine purpose that would unfold over millennia. As we explore the ancient history of these islands, we uncover a complex web of spiritual influences: animism, Hinduism, Buddhism, and Islam shaping the cultural landscape long before the arrival of Christianity. And then came the turning point that would forever alter the destiny of the Philippines: the Spanish colonization, led by Ferdinand Magellan. With the Spaniards came the introduction of Christianity, a faith that would take root so deeply that the Philippines would become one of the largest Christian nations in the world. But why this land? Why this people? Could the Philippines' pivotal role in global Christianity be more than historical coincidence? Is there something unique about these islands, something perhaps foretold or destined, that made them a spiritual center in Southeast Asia? Even the name Philippines, bestowed by the Spanish in honor of King Philip II, carries echoes of something greater. Could it be that this name, seemingly a relic of colonization, holds a deeper significance, a connection to the divine narrative of Scripture? The Bible often speaks of names carrying profound meaning and purpose. What, then, could be the significance of the name Philippines? Could it symbolize a calling, a destiny that has yet to be fully understood? Throughout its history, the Philippines has faced immense challenges: colonization, revolutions, wars, and natural disasters. Yet, the Filipino spirit has endured with remarkable resilience. From the fight for independence against Spanish rule to the struggles under American and Japanese control, the people of the Philippines have displayed a strength that seems almost otherworldly. Could this resilience be tied to a spiritual inheritance, passed down through generations from ancient biblical ancestors? As we delve deeper into this mystery, we see a nation that has not only survived but thrived, carrying with it a rich spiritual legacy. Could the ancient peoples of these islands have been divinely guided, their paths and purposes intertwined with the grand biblical narrative? The story doesn't end with colonization or independence. It continues to this day, as the Philippines plays a unique role on the global stage, its people bringing their faith, culture, and resilience to the world. The connection between the ancient texts of the Bible and the modern history of the Philippines is not just an academic curiosity, it's a revelation that points to a greater purpose, a destiny that spans generations. So join us on this journey as we explore the possible biblical origins of the Filipino people and uncover the profound spiritual significance hidden within their history. This is more than a story about an archipelago in the Pacific. It's a story about a nation whose destiny is woven into the fabric of biblical history. Prepare to see the Philippines, and perhaps even the Bible itself, in a way you've never seen before. The official title, Republic of the Philippines, was established in the 1935 Constitution as the name of the future independent state and has been maintained in all subsequent constitutional revisions. The ethnic diversity in the Philippines is remarkable, influenced by both external factors and the archipelago's fragmented geography. According to the 2020 census, the largest ethnic groups in the country are the Tagalog 26%, Visayans, excluding Cebuano, Hiligaynon, and Wari at 14.3%, Ilocano and Cebuano, both at 8%, Hiligaynon 7.9%, Bicol 6.5%, and Wari 3.8%. In addition to these, the country is home to 110 indigenous ethno-linguistic groups, totaling a population of 15.56 million in 2020. Among these indigenous groups are the Igorot, Lumad, Mangian, and the indigenous peoples of Palawan. The Negritos are considered some of the earliest inhabitants of the Philippines. This aboriginal minority group of Australoid descent is a remnant of the earliest human migrations from Africa to Australia and was later displaced by other waves of migration. Ethnic Filipinos belong to several Southeast Asian ethnic groups, classified linguistically as Austronesians, speaking Malayo-Polynesian languages. Although the exact origin of the Austronesian population is uncertain, it is believed that relatives of the Taiwanese Aborigines brought their languages and intermixed with the local populations. The Lumad and Sama-Bajo ethnic groups have ancestral affinities with Austroasiatic-speaking peoples such as the Tin and Muabri of mainland Southeast Asia. Additionally, there is evidence of an expansion from eastern Indonesia and Papua New Guinea into Mindanao, detected in groups like the Bland and in the Sangar language. Immigrants arrived in the Philippines from other parts of the Spanish Empire, especially from Spanish America. A 2016 National Geographic study revealed that the inhabitants of the Philippine archipelago have a genetic composition with the following percentages: 53% Southeast Asian and Oceania, 36% East Asian, 5% Southern European, 3% South Asian, and 2% South Asian, and 2% Native American from Latin America. Descendants of mixed couples are known as mestizos or tisoy. During the Spanish colonial period, these mestizos were primarily composed of Chinese mestizos, mestizos de sangle, Spanish mestizos, mestizos de español, and their mixtures, tornaturas. Today, Chinese Filipinos are well integrated into Filipino society. Most of them are descendants of immigrants from Fujian. In the early 20th century, during the American colonial era, it was estimated that there were about 1.35 million pure ethnic Chinese in the Philippines, while approximately 22.8 million Filipinos, about 20% of the population, had some Chinese ancestry, whether from pre-colonial, colonial, or 20th century migrants. During the Spanish colonial period, mestizo Filipinos represented a moderate proportion of the tax-paying population, about 5%. In comparison, a smaller proportion of the population, approximately 2.333%, were Mexican Filipinos. In 2023, nearly 300,000 American citizens lived in the country, and it is estimated that up to 250,000 Amerasians, descendants of Americans and Filipinos, live in cities like Angeles, Manila, and Olongapo. Other significant non-indigenous minorities include Indians and Arabs. Japanese Filipinos, in turn, include descendants of Christian fugitives, Karishitan, who escaped persecution under Shogun Tokugawa Ieyasu. Filipino and English are the official languages of the country. Filipino, a standardized version of Tagalog, is primarily spoken in the Manila metropolitan area. Both Filipino and English are used in government, education, printed and broadcast media, as well as in business, usually accompanied by a third local language. Code switching between English and other local languages, especially Tagalog, is common. The Philippine Constitution allows for the optional teaching of Spanish and Arabic. Although the use of Spanish, which was a lingua franca in the late 19th century, has decreased, many Spanish loanwords are still found in Philippine languages. The biblical origin of the peoples of the Philippines can be traced to the descendants of Japheth, one of Noah's sons. Specifically, the lineage in question is the descent from Togarma, son of Gomer, who in turn is the son of Japheth. Togarma is considered the ancestral patriarch of the Filipino peoples, as well as other Asian and indigenous peoples of the Americas and Siberia. Additionally, Filipinos also have an ancestral connection to Ham, one of Noah's sons, or more precisely to one of the tribes descending from Ham, historically associated with peoples of black skin. This connection to Togarma is not only a matter of genetic heritage, but is also evident in the physical characteristics of Filipinos, such as almond-shaped eyes and dark, straight hair. These features indicate an Asian origin, aligning with the descent from Togarma. It is worth noting that Togarma is pointed out as one of the earliest ancestors of the Filipino peoples, but not the only one, which suggests a diverse ancestry that will be discussed further. The ancestry of the Filipino peoples is not restricted solely to the lineage of Togarma, son of Gomer and grandson of Japheth. The light brown or tawny skin tone of Filipinos also suggests an influence from the tribes descending from Ham, who are associated with the Hamitic peoples. The genetic mix between the descendants of Togarma, who have characteristics like almond-shaped eyes and lighter skin, and the Hamitic tribes, who have features associated with darker skin tones, resulted in the diversity observed in the appearance of the Filipino peoples. This combination gave rise to the typical brown or tawny skin tone of many Filipinos. Additionally, the name Togarma has an etymology that can be associated with broken or pulled, which relates to the characteristic of almond-shaped eyes, both of Togarma and his descendants. The second ancestral father of the Filipino peoples is undoubtedly Ham. The brown and tan skin tone of many Filipinos reflects Hamitic influence, thus integrating into the genetic composition of the Filipino peoples. Therefore, the Filipino peoples are the result of the blending of the lineages of Ham and Japheth, specifically Togarma and one of the Hamitic tribes. This genetic combination explains the common brown and lighter skin tone among Filipinos. In summary, the origin of Filipinos can be traced from Japheth through to Togarma, and also from Ham, represented by one of the Hamitic tribes. The analysis, based on Genesis chapter 10, illustrates how these lineages contributed to the formation of the Filipino peoples. Before the Spaniards arrived in the Philippine archipelago in the 16th century, the land was already home to various indigenous communities with unique beliefs and cultures. Groups such as the Negritos, Austronesians, and other native peoples established local kingdoms like Tondo, Cebu, and Butuan, creating a rich and diverse social and cultural ecosystem. These communities thrived not only in their economic and social systems, but also in their deep spiritual beliefs, particularly their reverence for natural deities and a supreme creator known as Bathala. Interestingly, the concept of Bathala, regarded as the creator of the universe and the protector of life, shares notable similarities with the image of God in the Bible, the creator of heaven, earth, and all living beings. This resemblance raises an intriguing question: could the indigenous beliefs of the Filipino people have served as a spiritual foundation for their later embrace of Christianity? When the Spaniards arrived in the Philippines in 1521, they brought not only colonial ambitions but also a sacred mission to spread Christianity. For the Spanish, expanding their territory was synonymous with extending the reach of the Roman Catholic Church, and they viewed the propagation of the faith as a divine mandate. The process of evangelization was swift and widespread, facilitated by the construction of churches, schools, and the dissemination of Christian teachings. Within just a few centuries, Christianity became the cornerstone of spiritual life in the Philippines, transforming the nation into the largest Christian country in Southeast Asia. This is particularly remarkable given the regional context, where long-established religions such as Buddhism, Islam, and Hinduism dominated. Yet, was the transition from indigenous beliefs to Christianity merely a historical coincidence? Or could it have been part of a grand divine plan set in motion thousands of years earlier? The Bible often emphasizes that God prepares nations and peoples to fulfill His purposes. In Genesis 12:2-3, God promised Abraham, "I will make you into a great nation, and through you, all nations on earth will be blessed." Could the arrival of Christianity in the Philippines be part of this promise, positioning the country as a central hub for the spread of the Christian faith in the region? Today, when reflecting on history, the Philippines is not just a nation that embraced Christianity, but one that has become a vital center for the faith in Southeast Asia. Grand churches, religious festivals like the Sinulog in Cebu and the Ati-Atian in Aklan, and the profound faith of the Filipino people all testify to this unique role. Furthermore, the Filipino diaspora and missionaries originating from the Philippines have significantly contributed to spreading Christianity worldwide. This suggests that the history of the Philippines, from its early indigenous spirituality to the rise of Christianity, is not merely a natural cultural evolution, but a sacred narrative of God's preparation. This nation, with its rich cultural heritage and unwavering faith, may have been divinely destined to play a central role in God's greater plan. The Filipino people have long been known for their distinctive cultural values and strong faith, which not only shape their national identity but also deeply reflect the sacred principles found in the Bible. Hospitality, a hallmark of Filipino culture, is more than just tradition. It is an expression of love and charity, the core values taught by Jesus Christ. Filipinos are known for their warm and sincere welcome to others, embodying the biblical teaching to love your neighbor as yourself. Furthermore, the strong familial bond among Filipinos is an inseparable cultural trait. In Filipino society, the family is not just the foundation of life but also the center of all moral and spiritual values. This mirrors the principles emphasized in the Bible, where family is regarded as a symbol of unity and the primary context for expressing God's love. Biblical stories, from Noah's family to Jesus' teachings about the parent-child relationship, clearly reflect this value. In addition, the Filipinos' strong religious devotion is a unique heritage. Filipinos have not only embraced Christianity since the colonial period but have also integrated it into their daily lives. Religious festivals like the Sinulog in Cebu or Ati-Atian in Aklan are not merely celebrations but profound affirmations of faith and gratitude to God. This spirit is sustained not only in the homeland but also among Filipino communities worldwide, making them a significant force in spreading Christianity globally. However, the role of the Philippines extends beyond intrinsic cultural values. It reaches out to the world, particularly through its diaspora. Today, millions of Filipinos live and work in various countries, from the United States, Canada, and Australia to the Middle East and Europe. They are not just hardworking individuals, but also invisible ambassadors of faith, bringing the Christian spirit wherever they go. In churches across the U.S. or Christian communities in the Middle East, Filipinos actively participate in religious activities, from singing hymns to organizing community events. This not only spreads faith but also builds spiritual bridges between nations. Moreover, the Philippines plays a vital role in spreading the Christian faith through its missionaries. As one of the largest Christian nations in the world, the Philippines continually produces passionate missionaries willing to leave their homeland to share God's light in far-off lands. In today's tumultuous world, They bring a message of peace, love, and hope, the core values of Christianity. Looking at the broader picture, the Philippines is not just a Southeast Asian nation with stunning natural beauty and rich culture. It is a remarkable beacon in the global Christian context. The combination of unique cultural heritage, unwavering faith, and global influence has shaped the Philippines as a nation with a special divine mission. Filipinos not only keep the flame of faith alive within their people, but also carry that light to the farthest corners of the world. Could all of this be mere coincidence, or is it part of God's grand plan? The answer likely lies deep within each Filipino, where they carry a sacred heritage passed down through thousands of years. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video about the biblical origin of the Filipino peoples. If you found it interesting, please like to support the channel and help with the outreach. Comment below if you have any Filipino ancestry. God bless and see you soon.